to the next to last Monday of the month. So we've got a week left. How's everyone feeling, doing? Good? Lots of conversations on board. I know Jasmine and I are in the hustle bus to get to Success Club 10. I know a lot of you guys are too. Is hustle bus even a word? I think I just made that up. Instead of struggle bus, we're on the hustle bus. Yeah, so I thought tonight, so let me give a little backstory to what this thing that I thought I'd share tonight is. So I invited, I think, most of you who have been coaches for at least more than a month. I didn't want to get any brand new coaches. But there's a free 7-day training offered by this social media trainer of sorts, like guru, where I wasn't sure what to expect, but I've heard his training was very expensive, so I've put it off for a long time in my business. So I went through his 7-day training and I sat through his webinar, and what I saw was pretty freaking amazing. So basically his training is all about how to build a like page and how to completely grow your business only out of the like page rather than out of your personal page. And the advantage to that, I mean, every one of us, new coach or not, should have a like page no matter what, because you want to be continually growing that. The way we were raised as coaches was to continually grow it slowly over time and just keep, organically sharing things and an occasional ad here and there. But we never got really serious ad training on what to do. So it was kind of just like throwing darts at a board in the dark. So, what I'm interested with this is, he basically has figured out Facebook's algorithm to how to exactly target your market completely to who you are. And you basically invest like $1 a day on a new post until you find something that gets a lot of attention from the people who you have you go through the training, you identify your market and who you are and how best to communicate to those people. And then you just kind of test the waters with like $1 a day on an ad until you find the right one. And then you put it down to like a penny a day. So it's like not meant to be a high expense thing, but it can take, some trial and error. So who knows how long until you find that, like he calls it a winning ad. But when you do find that winning ad, that's when your business explodes, because you can if you spend continue spending $1 a day when it's really like only a cent per view or something like that, you're getting 50 to 100 likes a day from one ad that you're spending $1 on. So what happens when you use his training, from what I've been gathering, I watched all these webinars and then I, did some research on my own, is I saw people who, were barely hitting Success Club, really weren't getting anywhere in their business. It was just kind of like on the side and they weren't doing much, and didn't have a like page, to having 50,000 likes and having like Success Club 20 in their lap every month. Like people just came to them with their business. They wanted to work with them because he teaches you how to consistently build that rapport with the people and how to attract the people who are just like you in this country. Because he goes over and over, like, there are 400 million people in America alone who use Facebook. So your people are somewhere out there. And like, he thinks it's silly of us to put that pressure on ourselves to go find all of our people, when how are we supposed to possibly know the 6 degrees of separation that separate us from our soulmate challenger, So I liked his idea. His training is expensive. Not to mention the fact you put $1 a day into trying out ads. So it's $300 on sale. This is his sale price. And then it's more expensive. I've been talking to Jasmine and Christine and a couple other workers on our team about doing this with me. And I sent him an email asking him if he would extend the offer to any number of my team to join us, because he's really, really all about success partners and having like people band together who like will hold each other accountable in addition to the larger network of people. And I haven't heard back from him yet, but he seems to be a pretty go with the flow kind of guy. So we'll see. But I just I did the first module. And the beautiful thing about his training is that he's always updating it to Facebook's changes. So that's wonderful because Facebook is always changing, and, you know, things that used to be fine for ads now aren't okay with ads, as Jasmine and I have frustratingly figured out. Like, you can't use a before and after for an ad anymore. You can't use a collage at all. It has to just be one picture. And you can only have a very limited amount of text, if any text, on there. So now people are using videos, which I didn't really know until I've seen all these videos popping up as sponsored ads in my page. But anyway, so it's a great training. If that sounds like something that you want to invest your money and time into, because that is more how you envision growing this business, then, you know, there are literally, I just joined Friday and I'm in the same like wave of new people as like 3-day-old coaches. Like, there are some people who on Barbie, you know, do all of you guys know who Barbie is? Barbie is Amy's upline. She's been a coach for 10 years. She makes about $3 million a year. She's got 15-star diamond in one business center, 10-star diamond in another business. She's like bazillion diamonds. She's been doing this basically since the dawn of dinosaurs. And she is an amazing mentor to all of us. Like, if you guys want to be added to her diamond, her, what's it called? Empire.
You can be a diamond.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. You have to be a diamond, but
you will get added to that.
You're all close. Yeah. You're all close to being diamond. You'll get there. But so Barbie endorsed this training, and that's kind of what brought it on my radar, and I tried it. And, I forget why.
So does Josh Coates.
What?
So does Josh Coates.
He follows this training? Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So all of those Josh Coates ads happened because he took Jesse's training.
And I think Melanie Mitro does too, because I'm watching her ads and I'm like, this looks like his training. But so anyway, I'm in this group of brand new people who just joined the training because like other like top coaches in the industry are saying like, don't even start with your personal page. Don't even start your business with your personal page. If you don't feel like you've got a warm market, then that's okay. Build a warm market from your like page. And she's just like, think of this like it's a business, you know, invest this $300 so that your business is making triple what it would make if you were just working from your personal page. I grew it differently. Jasmine grew it, you know, Jasmine and I grew it organically from our friends lists, and we continue to add friends through mutual friends and through networks and common likes and all that. And that's a perfectly legitimate way to build your business. We're walking proof. But I do see this as a way to take it to a very different level than inviting all of our friends and following up with them all the time, rather than people just like, our job would literally be responding to and following up with people coming at us asking to join our challenge groups, which is ultimately the goal that we all want to achieve. So I thought I would share one of the trainings in his first day's training. So it's basically, he breaks it up into modules with different topics and has a bunch of different videos that you're supposed to take action on one at a time. And so in this first day, one of the trainings was on branding. And Jasmine, this was the branding exercise that we used with Elisa that I have been looking for forever, and I just found it, and it's so, so good, and it's kind of grown since we took it. But it's really, really important to start looking at the storefront of your what's it called, business, because your Facebook page is the storefront of your business. When you're telling people, when you're expecting people to start following your journey and you want them to keep showing up at your, you know, on your page, you need to, and especially since you're adding new friends all the time, you need to have a cover photo that kind of shows who you are, and you need a beautiful shining face of you in your, you know, profile picture, and like how to catch them right away with those visuals is a really important tool, I think, to develop from birth as a coach. So I thought I'd just share my screen on this exercise, and I'll send you guys the website so you guys can do the branding question. It's like a quiz that you do that basically just asks you who you are and like your priorities as a person, so that it can match you to your avatar, which is, an avatar is basically your ideal client and your ideal partner. You know, if you're looking for coaches, who are you looking for? Like, what kind of person are you looking for? And who are you looking for as challengers? So any questions before I share my screen and just press play on the training? We good? Okay. All right. So, where's that? Okay. So, I'll share the quiz with you first.
Are you sure we did this one? This doesn't look
I
familiar.
remember doing this one a lot. The site looks very different than when we first took it, but like this is exactly what I took when Elisa gave it to me. But it might have been right before you started coaching.
Yeah, I didn't take this, but I'm really excited to take it.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, so in the video you'll hear that she says I give you some notes. I'll copy and paste this into notes if you guys want it. Let me send you. Where's the how do I access the chat from share screen? Oh, here we go. Chat.
Can I take it right now?
Do you guys want to like take it first? Or do you want to look at the video and then take it?
I want to take it first.
Okay, it's 16 questions. So why don't you guys take it and we can talk through the results and then go through the training thing.
Okay. Need it.
Is it okay if I take it later?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I'm fixing dinner.
Oh my gosh, I can't. I have to pick one.
So, okay, this is why I thought maybe watching it first would help. She says she recommends that you take it once through and go with your strongest gut. And then if there's a strong contender in a bunch of those questions, take it a second time and see what different results come up, because you can blend those two avatars and, you know, motifs for the brand.
Oh, Lord. Fairy godmother or Dorothy, you guys?
I picked Dorothy, but I don't know.
Maternal doesn't sound. Or Luke Skywalker.
Not that far yet. This is hard.
You can take it a second time and put your different answers.
That's my plan. I'm gonna take it the first time and just see what happens.
It gives you a conglomeration of options at the end anyway, even on your first attempt.
Is it weird if I'm Jack Sparrow?
No, you are 100% Jack Sparrow.
Abso-fucking-lutely. I think we just found a nickname. Sparrow. Our little sparrow.
I have leggings with sparrows on them, so it's cool.
Man, I'm stuck between the books and the kitchen.
You know what I picked?
Well, duh. Paris Ellen.
Oh no, go back.
Excuse me, sorry. Realized I was being recorded by people. The Magician?
Yes. So what are your 4?
So I got the Magician, the Explorer, go figure, the Hero, go figure, and Innocent.
What? We got 3 out of 4 the same.
But I'm 25, 17, 17, and 8. So,
Oh, you have 5?
no, what? 25%, 17, 17, and 8. That's
I
not
had 2 25s and 2 13s.
Inventor.
My first was Magician, then Explorer, then Hero, then Creator.
That's crazy, Ellen. We're the same person.
We already knew that, though.
Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense if that's our brand, that like, but we do it so differently.
Yep. Yeah, you're a heavier Explorer than me, and I'm heavier Magician, I think. Or something like that.
I don't know.
So let me know, Ashley, and who else is taking it? Heather and Allie?
I'm almost done trying to decide which image feels like my brand.
Allie, you look
Sorry,
like
I was trying to figure out how to unmute not in full screen. Okay, I got Girl Guy Next Door, Royalty brand, Innocent brand, and Caregiver brand.
Oh,
wow.
100%. Yes, I can see that.
So when you get there, you guys can see that you say like get more details or whatever. So I have all my tabs pulled up and I've been like looking at them and kind of gathering, because it's the thing that you're looking at here is you'll notice that there are different fonts used with each brand. When you open up all 4 of them, you'll see that they have different brands of the things that those people like, different fonts, different color schemes, different goals, strategies, and fears, their idols in the celebrity world. And then it just kind of describes how they want to, like what they get out of you. Like when they're reading your stuff, they feel XYZ. And when they are really paying attention to your brand, they know that your voice is, etc. So, and then the post ideas at the bottom. Uh-oh, Ashley.
I'm a maverick, an entertainer,
Yes.
a creator, and a magician.
Hey, creator and magician. Heather?
I also got hero and maverick and explorer and entertainer.
There you go. So I challenge you all to open up a new tab for each 4 of your things this evening and go through like the fonts and look through the color schemes, and like I'm kind of mishing and mashing of like, okay, this is definitely my set of brands that I really like, and this is definitely like my color scheme, and this is definitely my font, and just kind of like starting to craft that idea. And then I kind of want to show you what this does with this training. So, and there's more to it, but this is a good basic place to start. So, wait to play with your 4 little things and check out the video.
Like Tony Robbins. Tony
Oh,
Robbins.
I know.
And I'm Tony Robbins. And that's really exciting.
I know.
I'm getting hot.
And Jesse Reagan is a huge Tony guy. Huge Tony guy. Did I end screen share? What did I do? Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
No?
Well, no,
No.
I can't see your screen.
Okay. Okay. So we ready?
Yeah.
Thumbs up if it's good.
Hey everybody, Kelsey here. I am very excited for today. I am going to be sharing some tips and tools that I have about branding with you guys. So I just wanted to start off by saying that I'm not an expert in the field. I'm not like a graphic designer or anything like that. I've just come across a lot of cool, free, and paid resources that you can use to develop your brand. In my journey to create my brand just about a year ago, when I started taking that really seriously, I just really realized that branding and having a brand on social media is so important, and it really is going to be what sets you apart from all of the other coaches or even just fitness professionals on Facebook or social media. So there is a couple of different things that I'm going to be showing you, so make sure you take down the websites and stuff, but know that we will give you it all in a document so that you can refer back to it. So like I said, I've just been exploring this stuff myself and helping other people find their brand over the last year or so that this training has been going on. And I just really started to love it and to watch people help develop their brands. So that's why I'm bringing this to you guys today. So I'm going to start by screen sharing and showing you a branding quiz that I'm not even sure who showed it to me. Somebody showed it to me in the training, and I just fell in love with it because I realized that the things that she asked in this branding quiz and the results that you get are really helpful in developing your brand, and it should be the very first thing that you do. So if you already have something going on your page, that's okay. You don't need to change it, but this is really for people who are kind of like stuck and don't really know where to start with branding, or they haven't really had any sort of distinct brand on their page and they want somewhere to start. So this would be the first place. Let me go ahead and screen share with you guys. So I will start here. So this is the branding quiz. Again, I'll make sure that all of you guys get the website to go ahead and take this if you haven't taken it already. So basically what happens is she asks you a bunch of questions to keep you answer, and at the very end, she's going to email you your results. So in a second, I'm going to show you what my results were, but I will say that I took it once, and I was like, wow, this is exactly like me. But then I was like, hey, I'm just going to take it again just to see what happens. And the second time I took it, I was like, whoa, if I mash these two together, this is me. And like I said, I already had a very developed brand when I came across this. And so it was really cool to see that like my brand is actually who I am. Like this quiz said, you're spot on with your brand. So if you don't have one, this is a great place for you to start. So not that many questions. As you can see, there's like 10, 11 questions that she's going to ask you. And at the end, it emails your results. So let me go ahead and show you those. I'll show you both of mine and tell you how they relate to what I had already going on. So this is the first one that I did when I took it the first time, and it was called The Queen. So So it goes through and it tells you facts about the queen. So it tells you your motto, ambition is the new black, your branding superpower is leadership. And if anyone's ever taken the color code test, I found that my results were very in line with the color code test, like the stuff that they said. So leadership here, your core desire to be in control. If you know colors, I'm a red, yellow, and a strong red. So if you can have that in the back of your mind when I read some of this stuff, maybe that will help you relate to the answers. But your desire to be in control, to create a prosperous and successful business, your strategy, your tribe, your potential weakness, branding words. I really like this because I can look at these words and think, okay, these are ideas of things that I can be talking about on my page, because branding does honestly go beyond just visuals and graphics. And that's something that you'll get into more in the training, really developing your story and stuff. But branding is really where you wanna start. And so I look at these words and I start thinking, okay, these are really good trigger words that I can use to create and pull out pieces of my story to talk about in correlation with my brand. And this is the key piece down here, right? So definitely look at the stuff up top and think about it. But here, the visuals is the colors and the fonts and the mood. So it was really funny because my color scheme on my page currently is like a maroon color, gold, white, and black. And so if you see here, there's some of those colors in here, which I was like, okay, great, I love that. Fonts, it was really crazy because if you see this Hello Beautiful font here in the middle, that was like exactly like the font I was using, and I laugh. And it's funny, I used this coffee mug on purpose this morning, but when I first took the quiz, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like identical to it, because I buy stuff with this font on it. Like, it read my mind and knew that. So that was cool. And then mood. So again, like I said, this mood is almost exactly what my color scheme on my page looks like. So I thought that was incredible that it pulled that just from a quick little test. So then there was another one that I took, and it was the Rebel. And again, I'm not going to go through all this because you can take your own, but read through all this stuff, awesome, and then go down here to the colors. So this is actually the color scheme I had previous to revamping my color scheme, which brings me to an important point, that you can redo your branding. If you're brand new and you're just starting out and you don't have any brand, I redid mine probably about 3 times when I was growing my page. I went from 1,200 likes now to 13,000 likes. So in that time, I really did play around with branding, and I tried to test and see what worked best and what I liked best and what people responded to best. And so I had kind of this color scheme here. I had teal, I had hot pink, I still have the gold, all that stuff, black. And then you can see this like habaneros font is even more close to even what this is and what I use on my pictures. So kind of a mashup of those two, which is cool. So I love that it gives you the fonts, and I'll talk about fonts in a second. But then here, like, you can see the bright colors and everything like that. And I, of course, have purple hair, and I love brightly colored tanks and shoes and all that stuff. So I kind of just took like a couple of pieces from this and a couple of pieces from that and made my brand. And that's why I encourage you guys to take this twice and sort of pick and choose, because it might not be absolutely perfect on one, so you take it the second time and maybe choose your second choice for all the answers, and then come up with the two and pick and choose, and then you have this beautiful brand to work with. So then you're thinking, okay, where do I go from here? Like, I have font ideas, I have color ideas, I kind of know like what I want my pictures to look like, what I'm going to have, the vibe I want on my page. So that's when I wanted to talk about fonts, because everyone gets curious, okay, where do I find these fonts? And it kind of depends where you're working from, if you're working from your phone or a computer or both. But I'm going to show you if you're working from a computer, sort of, and I'll talk about the phone in a minute, but from the computer sense, if you're using like PicMonkey or something where you can upload your own fonts to it, there's really cool websites to find fonts. So this is where I found all of my fonts. I like it because it's free and I'm cheap and I like free. So I actually took a lot of time to explore this website and scroll through all the fonts and everything like that and see what I liked. You can go through page by page and you can just download these fonts, and then you can save them, and they will actually be available to you like in Microsoft Word if you needed them in there for any reason. And you can use them in PicMonkey when it says mine or yours for the fonts. It will show up in there, so you have to download them and save them to your computer. And I had to restart my computer for them to show up, so if you have to do that too. So yeah, you can just sort of go through these. Another one, and this is 1001freefonts.com. Duffont.com is a really popular one as well, so you can look and see if there's any fonts that you like in here, download and use those. This, I would say that like these 3 were similar to what was on my branding quiz. And then fonts.com, and I'll tell you I like this. You do have to pay for this one, but it's really cool because say for example, like you want to click on this one, you can scroll down and it gives you like a package. So like I said, I'm not a professional. I actually outsource a lot of stuff for my page as far as graphics go. I just sort of have the vision and I give it to graphic designers who can actually make that happen. But I'm not good at really matching fonts up. So if you're okay with paying for fonts, it actually shows you some that match up well together. So that's a good option too for anybody who is just sort of like, I'm not skilled at this. I don't want to take the time to find fonts that match here. You can just pay for them there. Or you can hire someone as well, like I said. But these are really great free options to find fonts and play around with. Upload them in a PicMonkey, start playing around with stuff like that. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is how to create your brand. So there's a couple different things that I suggest. Like I said, I just sort of learned by helping people in this training. So take this how you please. But if you are struggling to sort of pick a brand that makes sense and is fluid on your page, there's something I recommend. So I recommend picking from those colors that you get 2 to 4 colors to use. And that's including like any sort of like browns, golds, grays, silvers, blacks, all the neutrals, and then a couple colors. Because if it gets too crazy, then it just sort of starts to look messy and it's not really the idea of a brand that you want. Font, same thing, 1 or 2, like I just showed you on the website. There's always 2 to 3 that look well together, but otherwise it just starts to look like hodgepodge and not professional. And that's kind of the goal here, you guys, about getting the good cover photo, getting good, your page looking good as far as graphics go, is to really just look professional. This is now your storefront, right? We don't have brick and mortars. We don't have a storefront that we get to tell people, hey, come take a look. We can give them a link to our page or invite them to our page or put out an ad that's going to invite them to our page. But then when they get there, we want to show them that we're professional and that we're serious about this. And it's not just sort of something where we just go willy-nilly with graphics. Filters, same thing. I would say like 1 to 3 if you're going to incorporate black and white, but like 2 is probably the sweet spot. Even 1 if you can find one that you really like that you can use on all your pictures. I sort of think of this as like Instagram. You know how on Instagram people, when you go to their feeds and you see all their pictures together, they usually all have like the same filter or they're all like cool angles or whatever. Start thinking in the Instagram mindset for Facebook, because just because it's Facebook and you're not necessarily seeing everything in one isolated spot, people are still relating to you because every time they see one of your pictures now, if it's the same for all of them or similar for all of them, they know it's you without even having to see your name there, which is the ultimate goal here. We want people to recognize our brand right like that when they see it. If you have any sort of team logo or team graphics that you do for shoutouts, I know everyone, we have people here from, Emerald or new coach all the way up to multi-star coaches in here. So some people already have a really distinguished brand as far as like their team goes with logos and colors like that. And that's sort of what I built my brand off of, was my team logo. And I know like a couple of my good friends have built their brands off of their logos and the colors that they use there, because you're recognizing your coaches, or I hope you are, and you're using your team logo and stuff, so you can really build your brand around that and use that to tie in multiple different posts on your page. So then I wanted to talk just a little bit about apps to use. So I'm going to screen share again really quickly. In the Social Team Builder site, if you're part of the old one or you're going to be in the new one, this file section is still going to be here. All these files are still going to be here. Really great resources here. Please take a look at this. But there is something here: photo apps, video apps, data analysis, royalty payments, all this stuff in here. My branding tips one is down here. And I will show you, this is what it is. It just tells you how to get to the brand quiz and taking it twice. A couple of tips that I just mentioned about how to incorporate your brand throughout social media. That's in there as well. But what I really wanted to talk about was this photo app. So I will say something too. When you start looking at people's pages and exploring and trying to figure out what kind of brand you want to have, you are, because I know, because this happened to me, you're going to want to be like, what did she use? What is she using to edit her pictures? And then you're going to ask the person. And the person may or may not tell you. And that's because you should be really taking the time to develop your own brand. Don't be concerned with what they're doing. You're going to get distracted and you're going to be trying to mimic them or be like them. And really, that's not the point here. The point here is for you to take the time and sit down, take these quizzes, look for the fun, start playing around with some of these apps on your phone and the computer and see what works for you, because what works for me isn't going to work for you. And people are going to see that. It's not going to be true to you. So really take the time to do your own research and figure out what you like, what apps you like, what fonts you like, and not just what you think looks good about somebody else. Because I made that mistake when I first started out. A good friend of mine, Jenny, she has this beautiful branding, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. It looks so pretty. I want mine to look just like hers. And when I tried to do it, it just looked silly, and it wasn't working for me. People weren't responding to it. But then when I took my own twist on it and really took the time to develop my own brand, that's when people started relating to me, when people started noticing my images, knowing that it was me, and really relating to me in that way. So just take the time to do it. But anyways, so here's the photo and video apps that I want to talk about. So Fiverr is a really great resource for cover photos. You'll figure out right away in this training, the first thing that they're going to have you do is they're going to have you go out and get a good cover photo made. And I know some people are really hesitant to invest in this, but you guys, I seriously get a new cover photo like twice a year. So it's not like you're getting a new cover photo all the time. That's not necessary, but it is necessary to have a good one. I can spot a bad one from a mile away, like a homemade one. Just don't try and make it yourself and cut corners. Just give it to somebody else, have a professional one made, and you're good to go. They're like $30 to $50. They're not that expensive. You can write it off on your taxes. But Fiverr is a really great place, and I'll show you the page of somebody who I highly recommend. French. He makes fantastic cover photos, very quick and very cheap, and they are beautiful. I'll show you in a minute. PicMonkey and Canva are really good photo editing things and cover photo making things that you can get on web. I'm going to skip over this stuff and just go right down back to the photo apps for phone. So Facetune is a fantastic one. I always use that to whiten my teeth. Photofy has so many graphic overlays that you can pull from, which are really fun. WordSwag, it has so many cool fonts, and it sort of just organizes it for you, which is really awesome. And they recently got new colors and stuff. Rana is awesome. There's a lot of things you have to pay for on Rana, so if you don't like paying for things, then maybe that won't be right for you. Another one down here that I really like too is Snapseed. Be Funky I had for a while. Really, all of these what I did is I just downloaded a bunch of them, started playing around, deleted the ones that I didn't like. So that's kind of the route that you can take too when you're trying to figure out what you're going to use to edit your pictures. So I was just going to show a couple of pages and a couple of cover photos and stuff that I really like and I think do really well with branding. Facebook's update has made it really hard for me to go back. They used to have like a bunch of pictures in a square. Now it's like when you upload a whole bunch at once, it blows everything up. Anyways, it's really hard to show actual pages now, but I do want to show you some cover photos because, like I said, it's going to be the very first thing that you have to do in the training is create a new cover photo or get a new cover photo made for yourself. So, actually, I'll just show you this. So, like page training. So there's this awesome thing that you have when you join the training, and it is the like page for Jessie Reagan training. So basically, this is all things like page. If you want somebody to give you a critique on your branding stuff, on your cover photo, everything is posted in here. So I'm just going to go to photos, and I'm just going to scroll through some of these. So French made a lot of these. Some people went to their other, some people will say in there too where they had them made, different graphic designers. Some people just went straight to Fiverr. It doesn't really matter, but the point is you'll sort of see what the ideal cover photo look is. So clearly, this cover photo is professional. And what I want to note here that I think that you should keep in mind for your cover photos is having a clear photo of you right in the front of your face. Who are you? Bam. And now your name right there in the front. That should be the biggest thing that's there. You and your name should be right there on there so people know who you are and what you look like. And also, posting pictures of your face on your page often will really help people connect to you. One more, live video, okay? Super important. So you'll see people incorporate different things here. Some are their family, their dogs, whatever it notice, but the key piece here is that there's always, and it doesn't matter if you have professional pictures or not. I know people are really concerned about that, having professional pictures, but you can make do with whatever. You could even go behind a white wall in your house and have somebody take a picture of you. These graphic designers can cut you out really professionally. If you're trying to do yourself, it always looks jaggedy and looks really crazy. So that's why really suggest this. Oh, I just love this. So bright and beautiful. So you see a lot of examples here of different ways or different styles for cover photos that you can do. The key is just not trying to make it yourself and just really resourcing that out. There's something too that I was going to say about photos on your page. So I'm kind of a crazy person about this, but it's all for good reason. So people don't really notice this, but all day long when you're on your phones, oh, here's somebody's branding thing. That's cool. When you're on your phone all day long, you get grease on the lens, and even depending on the kind of cover you have on your phone, you could be getting grease on the back lens too, and you don't even realize it. So, I always love Sarah's. It's so pretty. Wipe off your lens before you take a picture, you guys. That is going to make your picture so much more clear, not foggy looking. If you want it to look foggy, put a little filter over it, and then it will look. I'm gonna stop sharing. Then it will look the foggy look, and it just doesn't look good when your picture is all foggy because of grease over your phone. So that is, I hope, a couple of things. I know I kind of went quick. I know we wanted this to be short, so I kind of like breezed through everything, but take the branding quiz, find some fonts that work for you, decide what colors and fonts you're going to use if it has to relate to your Success Club shout-outs, your team logo, all that kind of stuff. If you're creating quotes, I forgot to say this, use your brand for that. Don't use the stock photos from Pinterest. Always take the quotes from Pinterest and make your own. One thing I do sometimes is sharing content from Instagram over to Facebook. It just helps with getting new people following your page and reach and engagement. But beyond that, don't be like taking pictures from Pinterest and sharing them on your page. Recreate them. Make them your own. Give credit to the people if there's somebody who there needs to be credit given to, but make them your own so that they can fall in line with your brand. And then find some apps that work for you. Play around with them. Again, be patient. Take the time to do this. It will be well worth your time to do it. And then start looking over some other people's pages that you like and say, okay, what do I like about this page? How can I take it and use it as mine? We're not copying people. We're not bothering people and asking them, what kind of stuff they use. And then just start looking through people's content and seeing, getting ideas. Maybe I do that a lot, getting ideas from what people are posting about. And then I will be getting on, I know some of you guys have messaged me and asked me to sort of look over your page, look over your branding, all that kind of stuff. I unfortunately don't have time to do that for everybody because I run my own team, I have my own life and everything like that. However, I do carve out time in my schedule to do some hangouts with Jessie, and I will look over people's pages, give you feedback on the branding that you're using, look over the content that you're sharing, and see maybe some tips and stuff there. That's really fun for me. I love doing that. I'm more than happy to give you guys feedback. I just can't do it like in private messages. I would love to do it on a webinar, and then you can always look back on it too. So I hope those tips help you out in getting your branding started. Again, if you have any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys more on webinars throughout the training.
Okie dokie. So you see how this training is pretty awesome, right? Like that's literally day one of a lot. I missed all of these things. I'm going to catch up on all the things. Oh yeah, so the quiz that we took, there are apparently multiple quizzes. So I haven't even gone through all of day one yet. So there are apparently multiple quizzes. I liked this one that we took just now because it gives you the multiple like different kinds all at once, the different sides of you. But I liked the color schemes and the fonts and the things that were given in the other quiz. So if you guys want that other link, I can get it.
I've done that other quiz before.
Mm-hmm. Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. It kind of gives you like an idea of like your brand, but not necessarily who you are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good for. So we understand that branding is kind of like like a watermark and or filter on all of your pictures and your cover photo and all of your recognition posts. Like, we need to start kind of crafting our decor of our pictures. So what she was talking about with pictures is like she uses 2 to 3 filters on one picture so that they are filtered to the same kind of shading no matter what the picture is of. And then it blends well with the cover photo. You know, it just all ties together. And anytime she posts like a little like text on her photos, always the same font, always the same coloring. It always, you know, matches. So that when you do go to her photos, if you start scrolling through her photos, it's like Instagram. And she probably shares the same photos on Instagram, so it's all one brand on that page too. So thoughts, questions? Jasmine, you said something.
No, I forgot. Yeah, that's it. So you guys, like, think about like a brand that you love. Lululemon or Nike or I don't know, think about any brand that you love, and chances are you can think about their font, you can think about their logo. You can see a photo in a magazine and not see the logo and know that it's them. Like, that's what you want. You want people to be like, oh, that's, you know, that's whoever looks like you. But the idea behind branding is like who you are determines what that looks like. Because if I am a very like, I'm not like a bold rocker chick, but if I was, my brand would look very different. So my brand looks a certain way. It's going to look very different than like Ashley's brand, which is going to be bright colors, and mine is more neutral, you know? So, yeah, another thing to think about is honestly, you can go on Pinterest and look up branding board, and you will come up with a ton of different, basically mood boards that give you fonts, 4 colors, and inspiration for like what your brand.
Can someone mute themselves? I think it might be Megan. Can you say what you just said again? I couldn't quite hear you.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something about boards?
Oh, yeah. If you go to Pinterest and you search branding board,
Okay.
you will find a ton of different, like branding board purple, since your color's purple, you know, and it'll come up with a ton of different pre-made brands that you can just like.
And then does it tell you what the fonts are and how to find them?
Sometimes they'll tell you how to find them. Sometimes they won't. And if you want to find out the color, there's a Google Chrome extension called Color Dropper. And you can get in it when you hover over the color, it will give you the 5-letter and digit code that is linked to that color that you can then use in Canva.
And how do you get that exact number in the Canva wheel? Can you type in a color?
And you literally, it's like hashtag, and then it gives you a number. But since you're going to be using a graphic designer through Fiverr, if you go with MyGirl, when you give them those codes, it's really helpful for them because it's all the same link.
Yeah, because I plan to do these exercises and decide what pictures are going in, what font I want, you know, my homework of like what colors I am, because he doesn't know who I am when I give him my, you know, info. So I need to be specific and share, like, these are the photos I want in the background. This is the photo I want you to Photoshop and make beautiful in the front. You know, this is the fonts I want, colors, blah. And then I send it off, and he comes back, and I have a professional looking thing.
Yeah, I will say.
I don't think Jasmine or I have ever paid for anybody to do you have?
Yeah, all my stuff is done by a girl.
You never told me.
Sorry, I didn't realize I didn't tell you. I thought I told you I'm getting a girl. Oh, sorry. I thought I said my cover photo, for my like page and for my personal page, they're different. And both of my profile pictures she did, and she did a couple ads for me, like photos with that. Like,
was it through Fiverr, or was it just a girl you know?
It's a girl I know through just life. And I think it was $100, but she did like a mood board for me. She did 2 revisions or 3 revisions or something. I will say it's very interesting working with a graphic designer if you've never worked with one before. They're going to they want you to be very clear on your outcome. Usually they want to know, are you trying to attract coaches or are you trying to attract like clients. That was a big thing. And I was like, well, both. And she's like,
Pick one.
you need to like really hone in. And the other thing is like colors, because you'll think you want it to be this color, and then it comes back to you and half the screen is that color, like you said, and you actually don't like it.
Mhm.
So if you can find, if you're using Fiverr instead of, you know, if you don't use My Girl or whatever,
Or use the guy that she referenced, because everyone in the training group I'm in uses that guy named Frenchie, and he, like, all of them are beautiful.
okay.
All of their cover photos are beautiful.
You know, but it depends on your style. Like the ones that they were sharing just now, I didn't like those. And
Those are from a year ago. I want to show you the ones that I'm looking at in the group now. Let's see.
So yeah, just look at whoever's work, make sure you like it. And photos, you guys, like you have to have, like I went and had my photos taken with a DSLR, and I just had my friend go with me to downtown where there's blank walls, and I wore a white shirt that said "Live Your Truth" because I'm a truth seeker, part of my brand, and I had her take photos, and then I did a lot of like, it was just like black and white. So if you like white brick wall, find a white brick wall or a plain wall and get your photo in front of the wall. Or, you know, if you're nature-y, in front of a tree.
I just wanted to show you this girl. So this is the girl who we just saw talking. She's recently gone blonde. So this is her cover photo, which I thought was pretty. And it matches her brand, you know, like she was talking about these fonts and the pairing of the fonts, because you see it's, you know, different with different colors. She was black, gold, and white, and like she used to have maroon because of her purple hair, and now she's rebranded because of her hair. She's got the like kind of pale picture in the background with like diva in the front. You know, this is her brand, and all of her pictures are very diva, and they all have that same font and the same kind of, you know, branding things on it. All the fonts are always the same. They have this gold thing with the black. So, and to give you guys an example, like this says 14,000. She had one of the lowest like numbers that I've seen in this group. Like, and she's been doing it for about a year. Most people are in like the 30 to 75,000 likes range, and most of them started with nothing. Like they had no like page. So, and like the beauty of this thing is like you get really good at just making content that speaks to, that is not only like super authentic, because I think I personally struggled with like, you know, you look at all these other people's things as like shiny object syndrome, and you're just copying what other coaches are doing. But like the sooner you learn to hone your authentic voice and your brand, the quicker things build. Like Jasmine and I took a while to figure out who the fuck we were as coaches. And then when we did, it was like wildfire. Like when we started like really knowing what we were doing as far as who we were looking for, like we found coaches on coaches on coaches. You know what I mean? Like we just started meeting people, and old people came up, and it was just like a different ball game as far as coaching. So to save you that time and struggle, this training might be a good step. And it is expensive, but I mean, it's a lifetime thing. You literally are in that group. You get all access to his trainings forever and ever. Amen. And, you know, clearly it's got a lot of valuable content. So I'm really digging it. And I think if he gives me this promo, I'll try to get as many people in as possible. So just shoot me a message if you want to do it. But yeah, was that helpful? Anybody need that? Brandon? Because I know like we haven't talked about how to make your cover photos, and you know, how to brand and how to color things, and I think it's necessary to.
Something I've been meaning to ask you guys is, I know like Jasmine, you have your own separate like health coaching page, and Megan has her own separate page. Is like that something you recommend we should start doing like right now? Not just a like page, but like have a separate,
You mean like a
completely
website?
different.
You mean like a website?
Like you have your, well, not a website, but like a separate Facebook, almost like a separate account or a separate.
That's the like page.
That is okay.
So yeah, it's just different terminology. It's
Yeah. So the like
Okay.
page, fan page, business page, it's all the same thing. Every single
Okay.
person needs a like page and start it as soon as possible. And, you know, I started by just inviting all of my friends, and that's how I'm at about 1,000 likes right now. And, you know, it's just kind of depends on your market as far as like, because I'm opera fit and I'm friends with a freak ton of opera singers. So it kind of made sense that a lot of my singers would like my page. Whereas Jasmine, like, her niche isn't necessarily as specific with her friends. You know, like, I feel like Jasmine, you can agree or disagree, but I just felt like, you know, I'm friends with a lot of opera singers, so titling my team Opera Fit was just like, oh yeah, okay, well, okay. And people just liked it. Doesn't mean that they all became challengers, but they liked my page. So when you have maybe a less specific brand like that, people are less inclined to be like, oh yeah, of course, you know, I'll just go like that. So this training is meant for you to find the strangers far off. And the reason, I mean, even if you don't do this training, the reason we all have a like page is because we have a friend cap at 5,000 people, and you can never be more friends with more than 5,000 people ever. So if you start really expanding your business and you want to have a greater reach than, you know, your 5,000 friends, you want to be in contact with 40, 50, 100,000 people, 1 million people across the country. You can never do that unless you have a business page, which is a like page. And you can never run ads through your personal page. And ads are the like best thing ever created for social media, because it takes you like to the people who are looking for you without you even knowing them. Because you can target your audiences and you can target your content to certain people and all that kind of stuff.
So like how an ad works, if you go in and run an advertisement, it's what you'll see when you're in your feed and it's like sponsored. You'll see it say sponsored. And something will come up and you're like, I'm not friends with that. I don't know what this is. Sometimes it's products. Like right now I'm getting ads for those Third Love bras. Have you seen those? Or mantra brands, and they just blow up my feed. It's an ad. It's like a commercial on your Facebook feed. And when you go in and do an ad, it'll say, what is your post? So what's your video, or what's the picture that you're running? It'll ask you for the copy. So like that's the content, the actual wording of your post. And then it'll have you target your audience. So it'll push this advertisement out to people within a certain age range, men or women, in certain countries, with certain interests or certain likes. So like I've done ads before for followers of Teachers Pay Teachers, women, females between, 22 and 36, so I'm like targeting exactly who I think is in my market, who would appreciate me and value me and like want to like my page. So then they check out your, the ad comes on their screen and they're like, okay, that post is cool. I'm interested by that. They click on it. They go to your page. Maybe they like your page. And then, you can connect with them because now they liked your page. Oh my gosh, thanks so much for liking my page. They're like, holy shit, this person's real. And then conversation starts and boom, challenge back. So that's kind of how ads work. But the thing is, you have to pay for ads. Like Ellen said, you can do them for as little as $1 a day. It doesn't have to be a big thing. When you find an ad that hits, because it's one of those things, you guys, where like I've done ads before for $10 and got nothing. Usually my ads have not done well because I just haven't spent enough time like making minor tweaks. One little phrasing of one sentence can be a game changer. So, you run an ad one day, okay, it didn't work, change it a little bit, run it the next day, and you just keep kind of tweaking it until you find what works for you and your people. That makes sense? Some foundational knowledge for you.
Making an ad is not the same thing as boosting a post.
Oh, yeah.
Never, everyone raise your right hand. Say, I will never boost a post.
I will never boost a
Never boost a post.
Never boost a post. It's Facebook robbing you blind. They do not do as promised when they boost posts, because they intentionally can target wrong audiences. They can just do shit to just rob you blind. So when you make an ad, you get in charge of who you're targeting and how much you're spending and who it's being seen by. And that's the point of an ad, right? You don't want to just target to old 70-year-old men, like not helpful. So don't ever boost a post. But yeah, so everyone just go start a like page if you haven't started one. And if you don't know what your team name is, that doesn't matter. Literally name your like page your name, make it a public figure, and either start deciding your brand and find, ask me for the contact person of my person, or ask Jasmine for the contact person of her person. Shell out $15, $20, $30 for your cover photo to be bomb, and you've got a business storefront. It makes you a whole lot more legit than, having just like a personal picture at the top of your page, or a quote at the top of your page, or my handmade cover at the top of my page.
We all had that for a long time. It's okay. We're learning. Now they don't have to suffer like we did. Good.
So, helpful. I hope so. Let us know if you have any questions. There's, like you see in the comments, if you wrote down these apps, they're really awesome. And the fonts page and taking these quizzes. So I will copy and paste that document that I got that says kind of her notes on it, like use this many fonts, use this many colors, use the link to the thing. I'll copy that and put it into OperaFit Coaches. Yeah. So go have fun branding. This is the fun, creative part, which I feel like our whole team is like, whee!
That I could spend way too much time on.
Jasmine can spend way too much time on branding, you guys. But anyway, it's already been an hour, so I'm going to let you guys have an evening. I love you.
Bye.
Thank you for doing this, and I'll see you soon.
Later.
Bye.